Are you taking medications? Well, short-term medication doesn't generally cause nutrient deficiencies, but we are in a time when anybody over the age of 60 should be taking 6-7 medications a day. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Hi, Jan. It isn't what medications were designed to do. Hi, I'm Mary Bourne. I'm a traditional naturopath, and I love helping people with natural and healthful, beneficial herbs and supplements. Drugs work on controlling symptoms. They often have side effects. In fact, almost every drug you look up has side effects. What medical doctors do is they weigh the risk and benefit ratio, and they determine that the benefits outweigh the risks. So they recommend medications for particular control over symptoms. But do they? I've been watching this whole past week 40 different seminars, each an hour long. So you can imagine how much time I spent watching these. But I was watching these functional doctors. It's so inspiring to see that these medical doctors went back to school to learn about natural remedies. I think that's very inspiring. So I don't work on diagnosed conditions. I think they're interesting. They're just actually part of the puzzle. So I want to find out what symptoms were covered up, what is the body trying to tell you, and how can we get this back into balance? So in these discussions, I learned so much about how medications are depriving the body of the nutrients necessary. So I'd like to share some of these with you. 40 hours I can't bring down into, 20 minutes. So I'm going to be giving you links throughout the week on some of the more important ones. I'm going to share with you a link for the Magnesium Miracle, which I think was extremely well written by Carolyn Dean, and she points out how epidemic the magnesium deficiency is in this country. But I want to focus a little bit on B vitamins. The nervous system needs B vitamins, and these particular vitamins are water soluble. So in other words, they're necessary. You have to get them from the food you eat, and they're washed out. They're used up quickly due to the amount of stress that we have, due to the poor food that we have. So here's some sources of vitamin B. So whole grains, brown rice, barley, millet. Well, a lot of you can't tolerate grains, so forget that. Then we have meat. Well, there's vegetarians out there, and although meat is a wonderful source of B vitamins, especially B12, which is difficult to get anywhere in the vegetable kingdom, but if you're going to choose meat, choose quality meat, which is grass-fed and wonderfully produced and so full of omega oils that it's a valuable thing. And having 3 to 4 ounces at a meal is optimal. You don't want an 8-ounce steak. You want to be able to have some reasonable amount of proteins, and you need to be taking digestive enzymes to help you break down those proteins. Then next on the list is eggs and dairy. Well, we know there's a lot of people who can't tolerate dairy, especially the way it's pasteurized and homogenized these days. So raw milk, because it has lots of enzymes, is a wonderful source of food. And eggs that free-range chickens have laid, amazing. I posted a picture of what the yolk should look like in your eggs. They should be bright orange. They shouldn't be this pale yellow, washed out looking egg. It's a cheese, raw cheeses. They're very good for B vitamins. Legumes. Now, there's some people that can't tolerate legumes. Their digestive system just doesn't break it down properly, and they end up with huge gas explosions and problems. Nuts and seeds. I know some people who have diverticulitis and they can tolerate seeds, and so that's eliminated. How about dark green leafy vegetables? Well, if you're on a blood thinner, you can't take broccoli. They tell you stay away from broccoli. Well, broccoli is an absolute fabulous source, anti-cancer benefits. It's proven so effective with anti-cancer. Spinach and kale and chard, those are all wonderful dark green leafy vegetables full of B vitamins. So citrus fruits, we talked about them last week, and the importance of avocados and bananas can't be denied. So many people are sensitive to dairy and gluten, so they have to pay attention to supplementing. So, and again, I mentioned about vegetarians, B12 is really important, and it's difficult to get in a non-meat source. And there's problems with soy. There's lots of things written about it. Fermented soy is better than regular soy. So, and men should not have soy products because they're phytoestrogenic. So let's talk about medications. Powerful diuretics that flush the water from the body. You urinate often. This is often given for people with high blood pressure. And because they're water soluble, they'll also wash out the B vitamins. So people say, well, I don't want to take vitamins. They just wash out. Well, there is a pause element in your digestive system where the nutrients are taken up into the body. And yes, B vitamins are like going to a banquet. You give your body a whole food supplement of B vitamins, and the body chooses, I need B1, I need B6, I need B12, and so on it goes. So yes, some of them are washed out. Just as you don't eat everything on the buffet table, you choose what you want and you're satisfied. How about antibiotics? Well, most times antibiotics are short-term, and yes, you do need to get some probiotics and get that healthy balance back into your intestinal environment. But when people are on long-term antibiotics like Lyme's disease, they contribute to a long-term imbalance in the gut, and it can affect people in many different ways. There's often an autoimmune response that happens when the bacteria, the gut biome is interrupted. So taking a probiotic is really recommended. So they also deplete the body of B vitamins, though. Birth control pills rob the body of B vitamins, so anybody who's on a birth control should be taking a B vitamin supplement. But here's the biggie. Some of you are still taking an aspirin a day. You heard that myth so many years ago. When you hear something long enough, it becomes fact in your brain, even though it isn't true, it's a fact. And so taking an aspirin a day does not prevent heart attacks, but here's what the science shows, that if you're having a heart attack, then taking an aspirin will slow the process of heart attack down, and you may prevent death. But taking an aspirin a day is a sure way of getting gut permeability. So, leaky gut, allergies is like the smallest thing, but it can go on to autoimmune conditions. So you do not want to take an aspirin a day. It doesn't matter what size it is, it's going to affect your gut. So there's a lot of other things that you can be doing to support your heart rather than taking an aspirin a day. And aspirins are an NSAID, NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. And like ibuprofen, Motrin, Advil, Celebrex, they all deplete the body of B vitamins. So if you're taking one of those a day, then you're doing the same thing. You're inviting disaster. Your B vitamins are your stress vitamins. And so no wonder you're full of anxiety. So it is necessary to supplement a couple of times a day with B vitamins. You know, you just don't take one and think, oh, you've got enough for the whole day. Remember, they're water soluble, and so they should be taken, depending on your stress levels, 2-3 times a day. So according to Dr. Edward Pazuchowski, founder of the St. John Center for Wellness and Family Medicine in Roseville, Michigan, prednisone and other corticosteroids deplete folic acid, which is a very important nutrient for heart health. And the heart drug digoxin, I'm not a drug person, so I don't know how to spell it, but it's digoxin, impedes absorption of vitamin B1. And this drug is often used to control heart rate. We know that stress affects the heart, and especially the rate and rhythm of the heart. It can, stress often shock us into stopping the heart momentarily. So B1 is thiamine, and it is needed for proper motor reflexes. So being on this drug for a long period of time can cause tremors. It can affect your gait. It can affect your balance. So be wary. Listen to what I'm saying, and if some of these symptoms are being experienced, then you, of course, need to talk to your doctor about it, but you also need to make sure you're getting enough nutrients to support your body's health. Also, medications can interfere with proper absorption of folic acid and vitamin B12. These two B vitamins are needed to keep homocysteine levels in check. This is a huge marker for heart disease. It is one of the markers that denote inflammation. So in my electronic newsletter yesterday, my subject line was homocysteine, and I wrote quite a bit about how this marker is a better indicator for heart disease than cholesterol levels. And so you can find the whole article on my website. If you look on bornforhealth.com, then you go down here to where it says newsletters, and you will find the article on homocysteine. Now, there's something besides medications that affects your ability to convert folic acid into folate. The leafy green vegetables give you a folate form of folic acid, but all the enriched foods like cereals and breads and all that have a synthetic folate that they add to it, enriched. However, if you have the MTHFR gene, you can't convert that folic acid into folate. And 30 to 50% of us have that gene. And taking folic acid unwraps it. So remember when I talked about unwrapping the gene? Well, that happens with folate, and you aren't able to make folic acid from that. It's the usable form of folic acid, which is called folate. So if you've done genetic testing, you know if you have the MTHFR gene, and whether or not it's unwrapped depends on lifestyle. It really does. So it's important to take a folate version of folic acid when taking B vitamins. So I especially like Nutricalm. Now these are available on my website as well. This is the printout on Nutricalm, and Nutricalm is a fabulous. I've been recommending this supplement for 30 some years. And let me just read to you what B vitamins are critical for maintaining healthy nervous system function and reducing the effects of stress upon the body. In fact, adequate B vitamin intake may be the single most important factor for maintaining the health of the nerves. So, symptoms of B12 deficiency include tiredness, irritability, nervousness, and depression. In fact, high doses of B vitamins have been used by practitioners to alleviate mood disorders and psychiatric symptoms, including mild depression and anxiety. So, poor memory is also a symptom of B vitamin deficiency. So, what are the robbers of B vitamin besides medications? Well, sugar, caffeine, alcohol. Any of you partake of that? So, and excessive carbohydrates. So any starchy carbohydrates will rob your body of B vitamins. So they're no longer an effective method of getting B vitamins. They actually are now robbing our body of B vitamins. So it's an important thing to supplement with B vitamins. Now, many of the foods that we have, that we eat, are so depleted. This book was written in the 1990s, Empty Harvest, and I read it so many years ago, and it was riveting, because what it told us was how our soil is so depleted of nutrients that the food, the veggies grown in it, hi Ramona, you can't bring it up into the food if it's not in the soil. So the fact that we've been using fertilizers and fake fertilizers and herbicides and now GMO is a really good point for either growing your own organically, purchasing organic whenever possible. But you know what? When we live here in the Midwest and we're purchasing organic from California, that food cannot be delivered fast enough for us to eat it when it's right at the peak of their season. So taking the B vitamins is really, really important. And when you want to take a methylated B folic acid, this is the product I recommend, because it has methylated folate as well as B12, and it's a wonderful supplement. So next week I will talk about how the emotions affect your vascular system. I'll also discuss some essential oils and how they can be used to strengthen the heart after a traumatic event, heartache, or even heartbroken. You know, these are real. So don't forget, mark your calendar for next week's class. So by the way, if you're enjoying any of this, send me some little hearts. I really appreciate the hearts and emojis. If you do that, rather than the like, Facebook will help me promote these classes. So I think of these health to home, thank you. I think of these health to home videos as a way of sharing health. You know, we get inundated with advertisements of drugs, and we really need to combat that with hope. And I feel that herbal remedies are a hope for health. So although I am dedicated to eating good quality food, I know I can't get enough just in my food. So I take omega-3, essential fatty acids, fish oil. I take methyl B. I take a food source multivitamin mineral that supports my needs. And also, look at you, Ryan, and CoQ10, because if you're taking something like Lipitor, they know it robs the body of CoQ10, so you must supplement. CoQ10 is extremely important, and I urge you to read more about it. You know, I'm just touching the tip of the iceberg on these, and I hope that you take the banner and run with it and research on your own some of these articles and these functional medicine doctors who are researching the need for supplementation. So one of the lectures that I listened to in the Women's Heart Health, I learned the importance of magnesium. Well, I have been learning about magnesium for a long, long time and the importance of it. And if you say, okay, my calcium supplement has magnesium, I'm taking magnesium. But if you look on it, it's maybe 1/4 compared to the calcium. Now, to me, this doesn't make sense, because then you go to the doctor and they put you on calcium channel blockers. What is wrong with this picture? So, guess what? Magnesium is the balancer for calcium. What do you think a channel blocker is doing? It's obstructing the ability for your body to get calcium. Well, if you need calcium and you're taking a channel blocker, it doesn't make sense to me. So why don't you supplement with magnesium? So read the PDF that I'll be putting a link to and see if it makes sense to you to make a special effort to get more magnesium. Now, the supplement that I recommend is Skeletal Strength, and it has equal parts calcium to magnesium, so you're not further depleting the body of magnesium. 70 to 80% of women are magnesium deficient. Holy cow, we used to get it in our food, but that's gone a long time ago. That's gone by the wayside. So we need to supplement, and there are lots of different kinds of magnesium. So some of them help the bowel to move faster. Some of them help support our brain health, and that's the one I take. And so magnesium here's calcium, here's magnesium. So you won't ever forget that. So calcium needs magnesium to get into the cell. So Dr. Carolyn Dean wrote the book Magnesium Miracle quite a while ago. It's in its second revision now, and she's puts how important it is. I've talked about Epsom salt baths. That's a perfect way to get more magnesium into the body. The skin is a great absorber. So if you're stressed, take extra complex B vitamins and citrus, the bioflavonoids, which is in your Nutricom, to support your nervous system. So, and if you're taking Lipitor or those kind of cholesterol drugs, be sure you're taking the CoQ10. You can follow the link where it says get tickets. That will bring you to the Nature Sunshine website, where you can, if you're a member, you can put in your member account and purchase the products that I've talked about. So it lists pretty much the products we've been discussing all month. And so on my website, on the calendar portion of the website, you'll see that I do live classes once a month. I do live classes. Last class was on nitric oxide. You can get the link to the audio version of that. If you're having trouble getting the link to the audio version, email me, Dr. Mary at bornforhealth.com, and I'll be happy to send you the link personally. If you're having issues and you would like to discuss them, I don't charge for my email consultations, so send me a link. I may ask for further information about you, but I love helping people. It's what I do. and it's my purpose in life, and I appreciate your watching today, and I will be happy to answer any comments that are put in the comment section. And next week, be sure to watch Dr. Mary's Health to Home at 10:30 Facebook Live on Tuesday the 26th, when I discuss the emotional impact on heart disease and how you can make your heart stronger and healthier with the choices you make. So keep focusing on good choices for better health. And I want to thank you for viewing today. And please share this message with other people. This is Dr. Mary for the Health of It.